What's up, you guys? Welcome back, and thank you all for checking out this week's episode of Making the Custom. We're continuing the work here on our insane Clown Posse customs, and really quickly, I'm just showing you guys a slide again, going back to that first episode. These are the bodies that I'm using for them, and I went ahead and circled the ankle pieces that I'm using for Violent J. You can see this guy here. These are the boots that typically come on Ryback or Stone Cold. The reason why I'm going with these boots is that they fit perfectly and they scale well for Violent J using those Ivar shins. And what I'm going to do with these guys is this ankle piece that I'm showing you is just going to act as his socks. Now, Violent J always wore a low top sneaker, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use my X-Acto blade. You guys see me here using the knife along with my cut resistant glove, and I'm just going to trim away some of the detail sculpted into these boots. Now, I want to make sure I'm not trimming too much of the size away, so I'm basically just swiping with a really shallow type of trimming motion. And I went ahead and popped those boots back on. I just heated them up, popped them on the shins, and I showed you guys there that they achieved a pretty smooth finish after I was happy with how much I'd trimmed away. And right now I'm just going to mix some milliput, and I'm going to add that to that piece and sculpt some detail in for Violent J's socks. Once again, for something like this, you don't want to add too much size, so I'm just using basically a really thin layer of milliput. I'm smoothing it out, and that's going to achieve a smooth surface for me to add in some of the sculpted details. I'm just going to go at it with my toothpick, kind of creating some lines and some texture to make it look like that of a sock. And moving on to sculpting the socks for Shaggy 2 Dope's ankle should be much easier, as I don't have to do any modifications to the ankle piece itself. I'm gonna just go ahead and add basically a cuff of milliput around his ankle. I'm gonna trim it down to size, I'm gonna smooth it out, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and sculpt in those same details here. And for anybody that's wondering, these are the original Usos legs. I think they were in Elite 30 or 31, something like that. And then I'm using some Cesaro shins. So I've wrapped up the sculpting for both of their socks, and once that guy is cured, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to painting their skin tone just to match their upper bodies. Now once again, I mentioned earlier that I used the Ivar shins here for Violent J, and you can see the tattoos printed on there, and whatever Mattel's doing to print those tattoos on their newer pieces is making it nearly impossible to just remove them the way we're used to. So basically my method for removing any tattoos on rubber parts was either goof off or acetone on a cotton swab and just basically swiping it and wiping it away. But this thing is definitely printed in there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start to paint over it. I'm just using a basic skin tone here. I haven't mixed anything to match the upper body yet. And the reason why I'm doing that is for the first couple coats, I'm not gonna waste that precious skin tone having mixed the perfect mixture. I'm just gonna go ahead and use a stock tone to act as kind of a primer. So when it's ready and I have good coverage over that tattoo, I'm not seeing it through any faded coats anymore, then I could start to use that mixed tone here and finish it up to match the upper body. As far as the skin tone for Shaggy goes, he had a little bit of a darker complexion than Violent J did back in the day. And so what I did for him is I just used some of the Citadel Kislev flesh along with a little bit of the Mournfang brown. I'm mixing a quick tone here. It doesn't require a ton of the brown as that one can be a little bit overpowering when I'm creating a new skin tone. But I'm mixing it to match the Legends, either Shawn Michaels or Marty Jannetty. I had an old beat up Rockers figure, and so I thought that upper body would work perfectly underneath the fabric jersey we're gonna use for him. I really like how these are looking so far. I feel like the skin tones match perfectly from the ones that we painted to the stock options to their upper bodies. And I'm just gonna go ahead and knock out some of the white for the socks. Again, I'm not using a stark bright white. I kind of added some gray in there so it would maybe add a little bit more texture in those recesses that we sculpted in. But for now, that's gonna be it for this week's episode. You guys remember, we're almost done with these guys. We've already had their heads painted last week as well as their bodies modified this week. And so next week, what you guys can expect is we're gonna finish up the painting. I'm gonna paint both of their shorts. They're just gonna be in black, pretty simple. And then I'm gonna hand paint their tattoos and we're gonna put these guys together. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm having a great time filming and editing and sharing these videos with you guys. I've gotten some pretty good feedback so far, so I really appreciate that. But of course, if you guys enjoyed, please like the video. Please leave a comment letting me know what you thought of this week's episode. Please share with a friend, and as always, please subscribe here on YouTube. It really helps me out. Hit the notification bell to see exactly when I'm gonna be uploading some new videos each week. And as always, if you guys haven't checked out my Instagram, please check me out at chargrove.customs. Please give a like, please give a follow over there as well. I hope to see you guys next week.